Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. It is June 12th. Hope you had a great weekend. Going to get started with the before market close video and ticket requests as always. And if anybody does have any requests, please let me know. But things are starting to heat up. Alicia, hi Rod. How about CRLBF? Sure, no problem. We can take a look at that. CRLBF. We'll do that towards the end. So that is the OTC ticker for Cresco. And like I said, we'll jump into that here at the end. And if anybody does have any other ticker requests, please let me know. But we'll take a look at the crypto space at the moment. So there's been no shortage of XRP coverage and Ripple coverage over the last couple of weeks. Just posted a new video. Ripple landed a partnership with the University of Toronto, and the U of T is going to be running its own XRP validator as part of that new partnership. And very exciting to see that the partnerships continue to develop. And like I said, really Canada has been leading the way, even with regards to cannabis, right? Just legalizing, one of the first countries, G7 countries, G20 countries to do so. So again, they continue to be at the forefront of innovation, and I think a lot of governments around the world are really starting to look up to Canada as a global leader. But yeah, Canada's largest university, and also another breaking article here, U.S. lawmakers file SEC Stabilization Act to fire Gary Gensler. So again, things are starting to heat up in a big way, and we could see the possibility of this case resolving at any point really over the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow's a very, very big day. We have the Hinman emails that are due to become public, and that will be supposedly tomorrow. We'll see if we get that. We're not really 100% sure when. And then there's also the Financial Committee hearing with regards to crypto and the future of crypto in the US, and that's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Wednesday, we have the FOMC interest rate decision at 2 p.m. as well, Eastern time. So this is a very big week, and we'll see what we get tomorrow out of those Hinman emails. But as we know, Brad Garlinghouse said that whatever's in those emails will shock the public. Obviously, us XRP and Ripple enthusiasts, we're not going to be as fazed by it because we know that the agency is completely corrupt and shady at its core, right? Just rotten to the core. So anything that I can expect to see probably won't surprise me, and it'll just be, status quo essentially for that corrupt organization, the SEC. As we know, Tesla, they would have bankrupted Tesla if it wasn't for Elon Musk basically bending the knee, and Elon has even said he's building a case against the SEC and has no respect at all for that agency. Chart was looking good, but not a great day. Yeah, we'll take a look at that, Alicia, here at the end, no problem at all. But taking a look at the crypto space here at the moment. So we have Bitcoin consolidating on the 15-minute time frame, and XRP has been, again, leading the way. It's in a very, very strong 15-minute uptrend at the moment, and we haven't even started 15-minute consolidation, but looks like we're due to, actually, we just started. So we're following Bitcoin now. But we'll take a look at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame. So we're kind of going the opposite way. S&P 500 has been breaking to a daily higher high, and this was to be expected too, because of the fact that we had the weekly bull flag on Bitcoin. And as long as the 0.32 fib held, it was a potential for a weekly bull flag. But because we dipped below it, those lower wicks, we were ignoring that. But then here we closed below it. So then that negated the odds of that weekly bull flag playing out. So the fact that that weekly bull flag got negated shows that, SPY held its 0.32 fib on this pullback, right? So it showed that SPY was a little bit stronger. And that's why we anticipated that SPY was more than likely going to continue to trend higher while crypto consolidated, because like I said, on the weekly time frame, it was a weekly bull flag that played out to perfection, and we never lost that 0.32 fib when we were targeting 439. And then we also had a daily bull flag that was targeting 439 on the SPY chart. So more confluence to the fact that we're going to see 439, and then today we hit a high of 433.68. So we came within about 1.25%. And in case you haven't noticed, not feeling too good, pretty under the weather. It's been really hot here. It's been like 32 degrees, 31 degrees here in Edmonton. And then the AC in my unit, it's like central AC, and it's just like the most powerful AC I've ever seen. And yeah, I think I had it cranked too cold, and then coming in super hot, coming into a super cold place probably just shocked my body. So lesson learned, but good problem to have, I guess. But anyways, taking a look at the S&P. So yeah, we're targeting 439. We're less than 1.25% away from that target, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some pretty decent pullback on the S&P 500. But again, showing signs that we were a lot stronger than crypto because of the fact that the weekly bull flag remained intact. we didn't lose the 0.382 fib, and then we had another daily bull flag adding more confluence to the fact that we could see 439 in the cards. But then, like I said, because we lost the 0.382 fib here on crypto is why I think we're lagging here. And we could even see a weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross with the shorter term moving average here on the exponential time frame above that 26. So when the 12 is above the 26, that's perceived as a bear cross. Whenever we have the lower time frame below the longer term and they cross, that's a bull cross. And then we got more upside. Now we're seeing a potential bear cross with more downside. And then we'll be looking for support to hold there at 19,559. But like I said, SPY looks like it wants 439 here before we start any meaningful daily and weekly consolidation. It's been a while since we consolidated on the weekly, all the way down to 403.74. So from current levels on the S&P 500, we could pull back almost 6.75% and still just be looking for a weekly higher low and a weekly uptrend. So don't be surprised if we do see some pretty big pullback, and it could be even the FOMC rate decision, right? Maybe they increase. As we're expecting a pause, maybe they increase one more time, and then we get a pretty big pullback and weekly consolidation to around 418, potentially 410. And then as long as 403 holds, that's the main thing. But like I said, it's generally now's the time where we would be expecting some massive consolidation. But we might get exuberant to the upside. Maybe we hit weekly overbought, and then we pull back, 2 to 5%, and that'd just be healthy in my opinion. But the dollar starting weekly consolidation. Not by much, but it is starting with consolidation. But again, that EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, look what happened. We had the bear cross with the shorter term above the longer term, and then we saw more downside. Now we're seeing a bull cross after the bear cross, and we could potentially change the weekly trend here with a higher low and higher high. So key resistance is going to be 104.69 on DXY, and then the high of the previous bounce at 105.88. If we form this higher low, hold support down here at 178, and then we form a higher low, and then we break resistance there at 104.69, we'll be back in a weekly uptrend, and we could see these EMAs cross bullish. So again, spelling a little, I'm a little bit bearish on the broader market and the S&P 500 here in the short to medium term. Actually short term, but then medium term I'm bullish, and then long term I'm bearish. So I do think we could still see some upside here before we see any massive bear market. Like I said, still watching for Congress being banned from owning stocks to mark the potential top here as we're deviating from this dot-com fractal. And then I will expect a type of elevator candle down where we continue to track that, because like I said, I'm expecting a massive crash in the real estate market, specifically in the US. Toronto, Vancouver, I think are going to get hit really hard because they're mimicking the most of the United States, right? And they're the closest to the United States. And then, yeah, I think the next few years are going to be some of the worst market performance history metrics that we're going to ever see. And I'm talking like Great Depression, 1929 style, ultimately on our way to monthly oversold. But again, watch where Congress being banned from owning stops to be a nice indication of a top being set and to take profit. You don't want to get caught holding the bag. You don't want to be the last one buying here at these levels. That's just not a good plan. But we are extremely bullish here at the moment. But like I said, short-term bearish, medium-term bullish, long-term bearish. In terms of crypto today, on the bull and bear list, we have Hex, Code, and HP leading the decline. On the bull list, we have LBC, Hut, and Hive. Let's take a look at some individual names today. Tesla continues to show its strength. NEXE, Coin, and Docu leading the decline today. Coinbase trying to hold that $50 psychological level. DPRO, NEO, and NKLA leading the bull list today. Let's take a quick peek at Tesla, because Tesla's hitting that 250 milestone. Actually, 252.42 is the high there. But monthly uptrend confirmed with the low, high, higher, low, and higher high. So once we broke 217.65, we confirmed a monthly uptrend. Even if you just entered there, you would have saw over 15% of gains just on a stop buy and going long on a break of that monthly uptrend confirming. So that was another great opportunity for some decent gains there in a short-term swing trade. But no resistance on the monthly up to 314.67. We are seeing a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. We already had the bull cross though in the weekly time frame. So just like SPY, we haven't consolidated in a long time on the weekly time frame. So don't be surprised if we pull back to around that $200 level on Tesla. That would just be extremely healthy. And looking for a weekly higher low, we did have that brief higher low here with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So technically we're in a weekly uptrend, and that's evident by zooming out to the monthly and looking at the monthly bounce underway, right? But let's take a look at Canadian MJ here real quick, and then we'll jump into some tickers. XTRX, OGI, PCLO leading the decline today, followed by BFF. On the bull list, we have WIB, CGC, and Cron. Tilray up over 4.5%, almost 4.5% at the moment. And let's just take a quick peek. It's been a while since I looked at the discount and arbitrage opportunity between Hexo and Tilray. So, and again, June 14th is going to be another important day for Hexo. That's the shareholders special meeting for shareholders to approve the Tilray transaction. So that'll be on June 14th. So we should see some information out on that this week. But let's take Hexo share price and CGC's share price. So if we go down to, Tilray 166, and then Hexo is at what, 81? We'll do 0.816. So here it is here. You would just take the, there's our trusty calculator. So you would take the share price of Hexo, 816, divided by the ratio, 4352, gives you 187.5. And this was to be expected, right? The closer we got to the deal in the shareholder meeting, approving that, the closer we were to the less and less the discount would become, right? The arbitrage opportunity. So in order to calculate the discount, it is share price ticker 1, so 166, minus ticker 2 converted, which is 1.875, divided by ticker 2 converted, which is 1.875. So now it's 11.4%. Actually, you can round that up to 11.5. So the discount used to be like 22, so now it's 11.5. So we're getting 11.5% discount right now, right? So again, the closer we get, that was at 23%, I think, at one point. Now we're less than half of that, right? So the closer we got, and this was to be expected. The same thing happened when they acquired Zenabis. Same thing happened whenever they, CGC and Supreme, Acreage, right? But that one's a little bit different. But and then Tilray and Aphria, right? So it just keeps getting lower and lower, that arbitrage and discount. So like I said, 11.5%, and I expect that to continue to drop. So I'm glad I took advantage of the discount before we started to see that sell pressure pick up. But yeah, maybe I'll do another video on that as well. Just give everybody a little bit of an update at some point soon. Got a bunch of videos that I want to do actually, and just haven't had enough time. So, and like I said, feeling a little bit under the weather, but hopefully we'll be back to my normal self here in the next couple of days. Definitely hear it in my voice, so pretty raspy today. All right, so moving on. Let's take a look at USMJ. So we got EN, LOWL, and FLGC leading the decline. On the bullish, we have CNBCF and TAT, followed by BEV. MSOS, still hovering around that 5.5 mark, but starting daily consolidation today. And we do have next support at 527 to be watching out for. Let's take a look at Cresco Labs Inc. on the OTC. So we're actually breaking into a daily higher high today. So we're going against the broader market, or sorry, the sector, and MSOS specifically tracking all the US names. So we're bouncing on the daily time frame, but we're near the low of the day today. So no major red flags. It is holding up a little bit better than, like I said, than MSOS, which is tracking the whole US sector. But we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here on the EMAs, which would mean more downside. If we zoom out to the weekly, we haven't even started weekly consolidation yet. We did briefly here 163 and 162, so not by much, only 2 pennies. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back from here, formed a higher low around $1.50, back test that, give us that weekly higher low and higher high, because we still haven't confirmed a weekly uptrend convincingly yet. We would still need that higher low and higher high. So don't be surprised if we pull back to around that 150, scout that weekly higher low, and then give us our higher high to be back in a weekly uptrend. And then we zoom out to the monthly. We watch for the monthly bounce to get underway. It's a monthly inside bar at the moment. So if 195 breaks, we continue the monthly bounce for the second month in a row. And if we lose 142, we start monthly consolidation, which will be the first time in 2 months. But ultimately, we should trace back to this EMA 12 here over the next couple of months, in my opinion, which is around 262. So even if we break this inside bar bullish, that could be a nice opportunity to go long here. Potential swing trade of about 33% just to back to EMA 12. And we haven't closed a monthly candle over it. Look, resistance, resistance, resistance. So if we were to get back above and close above EMA 12, that yellow line, that would be massively bullish and a big momentum shift back to the bulls, because we haven't done that since all-time highs. in the highs of February 2021 before we entered that massive, brutal bear market. But here we are down about 92.5% from the all-time highs. Anytime we're down 90+% in any space, really, as long as you think the companies are going to have long-term staying power, it's generally a good idea to start investing for the long term, right? Again, just like selling when we're monthly overbought and buying when we're monthly oversold. So we're closer to oversold than we are overbought, and it's generally a good idea to start entering long positions. But it doesn't mean that we're going to go to the moon tomorrow. It just means that, over the next couple of years, we're probably going to start to trend back higher, right? And then make our way back to those monthly EMAs. If we take a look at the weekly time frame here, we're back above the 10-week moving average, and we're very bullish here on the stochastic and the MACD. I really like Cresco long term. Same with Cureleaf, probably my top two in the US, followed by Green Thumb. And then we also have some runway here to about 249. So 250 seems like a decent area. If we can get that monthly inside bar bull break, we'd be targeting around 250. And then we have a lack of resistance there to about 471 on the weekly time frame. And then we also have the 200-day moving average there at 234, and we haven't closed a single candle on the daily time frame above that 200-day moving average. We almost did it here, but back at the end of the year, beginning of 2023, but we ended up seeing an upper wick. So again, if we can see a monthly candle close over EMA 12 and then a daily candle close over that 200-day moving average, we could see some serious momentum shifting and some upside for CRLBF. But it's going to be a couple months at least before we're confident in a bottom being set, because we still need to form a higher low and a higher high. So we're looking at least 2 or 3 months before that plays out. But one way to play it, you could set a stop below 142 and then, break. We could potentially swing it if we break 195, target that 250 area as a swing trade. But like I said, if you're looking for long-term entries, not a bad idea to start entering at these levels. And we should see some decent volume this month. And as we know, the Safe Banking Act is going to be voted on here at some point in the next couple of weeks, and then leading into the seasonality effect, right? For MJ, usually the fall is decent, and then we have the 2024 elections that are coming up, and that could be very favorable, right? Where they could try to sway voters and be more pro MJ legalization at the federal level. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, at least a few months here, more than likely, before we're confident, but we could get some upside here, and it's promising, right? We're back above that 10-week moving average. The stochastic and the MACD are usually leading indicators, so we usually see a movement in those before the price. Price is usually a lagging indicator, and we're back above the 10-week moving average. It's looking really good, and we're maintaining almost a month of closes above that. So this is looking really good. We could get a surprise here, and a favorable outcome to that safe banking and uplisting the NYSE and the NASDAQ, and that would be huge for the space. Like I said, the only thing that's going to knock us out of this bear market and potentially start a new bull market, in my opinion, is going to be the reviewal of the MJ Act in here in Canada, where we get potential breaks on taxation, improvements to marketing and labeling and packaging, things like that, which we know are an issue. The 10 milligram cap on edibles per pack, the 30 grams per order, that should get lifted as well, in my opinion, if not increased substantially. And then we get safe banking progress, uplisting the NYSE and the NASDAQ, legalization of medical, HHS reviewing the classification of the drug in the US, reclassifying it, rescheduling it, descheduling it, whatever they do. Pretty much all of those, in my opinion, are what's going to break us out of this rut. So we're a ways away. Just checking in on the PAL Group community, not seeing any further ticker requests or news. So hopefully that helps, Alicia. We'll check back in on the S&P 500 here. So we're gunning here into the end of the day. Look at that 5-minute bull flag playing out. So we take our measured move here from the low to the high, move that out, perfect textbook 5-minute bull flag playing out, and we're targeting about 435. We've only got 17 minutes left in the day, 18 minutes left. But the daily bull flag said 439, and that was lining up with the weekly bull flag of 439 as well. So 439 could be in the cards here this week. Like I said, maybe leading into FOMC. Maybe we get a bad reaction to FOMC rate decision on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And that could be our weekly consolidation that we get. Or we get a favorable outcome and we just continue to get FOMO and run hot, potentially weekly overbought. Then we'll just have to continue to monitor it. But one way to play it would be to, you could potentially go short on the S&P 500 if we lose the low of the previous weekly candle. If we lose 425.82 from the low of last week, that would be weekly consolidation. Then you could get a short of about 2 to 4% opportunity here as we scout a higher low and backtest of those EMAs. So that's another potential swing trade as well. You can short it with SPXS, and then the opposite would occur here on this 3x inverse leverage. So if we break 1601, you could go long, and that's about an upside of about 5 to 13%. Swing trade. So there's ways you can hedge it leading into that FOMC rate decision. But very brief consolidation here on XRP in the 15-minute time frame, and we're starting the 15-minute bounce straight into 15-minute consolidation into a 15-minute bounce, and BTC again lagging. So XRP has been the shining star in the crypto sphere over the last several months, especially in 2023. So tomorrow's going to be a big day. Hinman emails are revealed potentially. That is the plan. That's the expectation, assuming there's no other developments. But all things unchanged, we're expecting that tomorrow. The Financial Services Committee hearing, the future of crypto in the U.S., as well at 2 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, and then we have FOMC rate decision on Wednesday at 2 p.m. So big week ahead. Looking forward to it. In terms of earnings this week, we had Aurora on Wednesday pre-market. Oracle aftermarket closed today. Not expecting that to really move anything. But yeah, other than that, Adobe on Thursday aftermarket close. So not really much to report in terms of earnings. All right, going in it there. We'll talk to everybody in the chat room in a few minutes. Have a great one. We'll see you a little bit later on as well. Going to get a couple more videos out more than likely before the end of the day today. But have a great night. Talk to you soon.